everybody, just briefly before we get started, as you can see, another nice black walnut log on the mill over there. And it's Sunday, it's about it's about noon here in Tennessee. It's gonna be another hot day. It was kind of cool this morning, so it's gonna be kind of hot this afternoon though. And I'm just doing one log today. I got some other stuff at the house to take care of later, so we'll just get this one done here and call it a day. But it should be a pretty nice log, that's why I'm doing the video on it. And this is the log in the last video that I showed at the very end, the crotch log. And a lot of people sent me some messages and some emails thinking that was a pretty small log. And we'll take the camera in and do some measurements before we saw into it. And it's a really good sized log. The small end's about 20 inches, I think. We'll recheck that. And at the crotch, it's right at 34. So we're gonna have to trim that crotch down on the branches just a little to get that to fit in the cutthroat of the Wood-Mizer. So no big deal. I wish my Wood-Mizer would cut a little bit wider, but the 35 does a pretty good job anyways. We'll just take what we can get today. Got a lot of questions on my last video on why I'm sawing them so thick. And we're gonna saw this log here at 9¼ today, which is 2 1/4 inches thick if you're not familiar with what 9¼ is. And the reason behind that is because that's what the market calls for in this area. I'm in Northeast Tennessee, so I sell primarily to people in Northeast Tennessee, Southeast Tennessee just a little, and also in Western North Carolina is where a lot of my lumber goes. And right now the market calls for live edge slabs. People can't get enough of them. They love them, especially walnut. And you can saw these walnuts into 1-inch boards and you'll have no trouble selling them. But when you do these live edge slabs though, you're going to get more money out of them. People will pay more money for thicker slabs, or thicker lumber rather, than they will in the thinner lumber. And the reason being, it's a lot more handling involved and a lot more time when you dry these things in 1-inch boards, and a little bit more of a risk because you got some 2-inch slabs and they're a little bit harder to dry on the front end than 1-inch boards are, because you gotta take it a little bit slower. When it comes down to it, the primary reason is economics here on why I'm sawing them that thick. The money's better. You're getting more money out of them. You're getting twice the money and sometimes 3 times the money you'd get out of them if they was in 1-inch boards. So let's take 2 quick measurements here on the crotch end and the small end and get this Wood-Mizer going and see what's in it. Now the crotch end is facing me today. You usually want the small end facing you, but I don't have a tractor up here, so I had to use the truck to drag this thing over to get it in position and really just do the best I can. But the crotch on this thing is 32 inches. Right here at the widest point, 32 inches, which is too wide for the LT35. So what you want to do in an instance like this, you don't want to cut these off and lose them. This is character right here where it branched out from the crotch. People like this part right here, but what you can do is we'll put this log straight up and come down right through here and do some cuts on both sides to kind of square it up just a little, and just get it wide enough to where we can fit it through the cutthroat on the 35. Now down here on the small end of the timber, to the edge of the bark is right at 18.5 inches. first two slabs. Let's peel these off and see how we did. No crotch figure yet. A lot of sapwood right in here. This is the first outside cut. Once we peel this one back and get to the next one, or probably the other side of this one, should have some nice crotch figure hiding in there. Spoke too soon. A little bit of crotch figure right here. We got a knot coming out. And we have some crotch figure right here. Every day is like Christmas when you're running one of these sawmills and you're cutting up walnut. Was not expecting that. So we should have two crotches, maybe in every slab. We'll see what happens when we start cutting down further. Fantastic. This is what it's all about right here, guys. Man, this is fantastic right here. No cracks, everything's intact. Let's turn this one over and scrape these off. We'll throw some water on it. I'm gonna bring in the camera so you guys can see it as soon as I do when I start scraping off this sawdust and see the crotch for the first time. My goodness. My goodness, that is nice. That is really nice right there. Focus in there a little. As you can see, this is amazing right here. And some people have asked me, what is crotch wood? Well, that's when the tree goes two different directions and the grain gets confused, is what I like to call it. And it has to go both different ways to feed the tree. And it just makes for some fantastic figure right here. Let's scrape these off and throw some water on them. You guys ain't seen nothing yet. It's curly right in here. This is curly. My goodness, this is amazing. I get excited about this stuff now, guys. Fantastic.